Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead, rise to every challenge, and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's gonna happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Welcome on in, everybody, to the Madden 24 Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. It is Cobra, it is Rob, here to highlight some of the action we are going to see today. Rob, how are you doing today?
I am really excited to see what everybody comes up with today. I've been looking over the teams in the bracket, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier. We see a lot of Chiefs. I see some Buffalo, so we're going to get some of this real-life rematch where Buffalo has been on the losing end of that for a little while, but we're going to see if Josh Allen can pull it out in Madden today. We also have some Eagles, and as a Philadelphia fan, I will always root for Philadelphia. And then I've got one player who doesn't tell us who they're going to play, so maybe it's a surprise, and we'll see all of that today. And for everybody at home, you've got a lot to look forward to.
Plenty of action ahead is absolutely correct. 3 best-of-3 series on the docket so far, but they're not just playing for pride here, they're playing for a little something extra here, and Rally Cry, they have been putting out for some of these collegiate players.
Yeah, I've been playing Madden for a long time, and I was not as fortunate as the players that are playing today and having the Army National Guard be able to sponsor this event. There is a lot of cash on the line, as well as bragging rights, so it is a Madden player's dream to be able to get both of them in one place.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the prizing, shall we, what these players are actually playing against. This is one of a few different games that are part of the competition. You see a little bit of Rocket League, you see some of the fighting games, Street Fighter, Tekken, but we are focused on Madden. We're focused on that $5,000 going to some of these top spots.
Yeah, I mean, $5,000 is a lot, and we can't thank the Army National Guard anymore. Just have to remember, if you don't know about the Army National Guard, they are the military's first responders, and the Guard is activated to support when disaster strikes here at home. That means anything. It could be a hurricane, it could be all of those kind of floods, whatever. That's what the National Guard is all about, is to be able to make sure they can come through, and we love working with them and them helping us to be able to sponsor such a great event.
Absolutely. Soldiers in the Guard qualify to receive educational benefits from the state and federal tuition assistance programs, and they have the opportunity for, gain these transferable skills and leadership opportunities outside of the workplace or the classroom while pursuing a full-time job or going to school full-time. So if any of this resonates with you, if that interests you at all, make sure you go and check out their website at thenationalguard.com.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. It is a great opportunity working with the Army National Guard. My family, lots of military in my family, and we're very, very happy to serve and support our soldiers that are, within our family, and obviously everybody who's not related to me. We also are very happy to support them as well. And today, it's all put on the line. We're going to see who's going to come away with it. We've got some great players. Very, very excited to see what game plans come out today and what they've got hiding in their bags that they're going to show us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the first matchup that we are going to see today. Tgood going up against Lukestep, And I believe that there's a little bit of a change of who we're
Oh,
going to see. We thought we were going to see the Chiefs versus the Bills, but a little bit of a change up going with the New York Jets on the side of Lukestep. Not a team that we see a ton of here at this level. What do you think, the idea of the change is here, Rob?
well, we know that Lukestep47 has to be choosing the Jets for the defense. The offense for the Jets isn't necessarily anything to write home about. Obviously, we've got Garrett Wilson and things like that. But on defense, we've got Sauce Gardner. We've got a lot of pressure up front. And I think that's what they're looking for. Anytime you're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, you're trying to make sure that you can keep Mahomes in check. It's like the Raiders have said recently, you have to have Mahomes rules. You have to be able to get in his face. You got to be able to put pressure, put him on the ground, and it's no different in Madden. You cannot let him just sit back there and pick you apart. In this case, with the Jets defense, you will hopefully be able to kind of shut down one side of the field with Sauce Gardner and rely on maybe it depends on how he wants to play safety and wants to play a linebacker, if he's going to do more user control there. But definitely, I can see playing the Jets on defense. And if he's just a genius on offense, then, the Jets offense will be fine. But I would say that you definitely have your work cut out for you if you are playing with the Jets, Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. But willing to step into the fire, it seems like. And I think you bring up a great point about, this may end up being a defensive battle. The Chiefs having an outstanding defense this past year. Got to see it in display all the way into what was the championship run that they had. But we'll see if a defense can make some of those turnovers, can create some of those plays in order to really turn this series into their favor. It looks like we are ready to go. So we will get to the field in just a little bit and see how this one's going to start off.
Yeah, I definitely, when you talk about that Kansas City defense, we're going to be looking up front at Jones and seeing what kind of havoc he can wreak in the middle. And like just in real life, in Madden, being able to get pressure directly in the middle, right into the quarterback's face, is the fastest way to cause some trouble. So we love seeing some great nose tackles, in there to be able to get this taken care of, our defensive tackles. So we have a kickoff.
We do have a kickoff, and it does look like the Jets are going to be put on to the test first. This is what we talked about a little bit earlier, in that defense being the reason why someone would pick these Jets, and they are being put into the fire almost immediately here in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many ways to look at it. I mean, you're going to have to be on defense a lot. Now, as we can see here on offense, you're going to be starting out. Oh, he's going to audible this, but on defense, we're looking at, looks like we're going to be playing a 3-4 on defense, and that's going to give him some opportunity. I do see Davis being user controlled, but McKinnon is just already destroying them. And this is what happens when you have a user control playing one of these linebacker spots. If you get caught up in the wash, this is what's going to happen to you.
Absolutely, and it could be a long day indeed if the Chiefs get the run game going early, but it does look like we are going to get a drop-off pass. Kelsey in motion onto the left side, still changing things at the line. Is Mahomes a lot audible, so we'll see where he goes with it. Looking down the middle of the field, Hardman not going to be able to get onto that one. That looked like an accurate pass, but just a slight little bit of movement towards the end of that throw.
Yeah, that was definitely where it was supposed to go. That he was wide open. Looks like user control at the very end just kind of came off of his spot. They're definitely going to go back to that. You can see on defense that he's putting Kelsey in motion, trying to see if he's going to see this man coverage or zone coverage. That time he saw the zone coverage, had his guy, just didn't get it done.
2nd and 10, and goes back to the same exact spot. Hardman Jr. will get a hold of that one. It is a first down here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, we told you that play was there last time, and even if we want to think about it again, they might flip this over. Kelsey looked like he was open last time, and but they're going to go back to the ground game here with Checo.
Yeah, nice running back duo here with Checo and McKinnon. And once they get going, you're just allowing so many more options for Mahomes for that movement, where you're giving him all of the time, presenting so many threats on the field.
Yeah, this is going to be that same play. Now, I want you to keep your eyes on Kelsey because Davis is supposed to guard him, but oh my goodness, blown up quickly.
Of that 3rd and 8 here, Chiefs don't want to settle for a field goal at this time, so they're going to be looking, just keep on moving the sticks, get themselves in range here. Drop back again. Hardman again in the same spot. It feels like we've seen that play work over and over and over again. It is a touchdown here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's super hard when you are keying in on Travis Kelce. If you go back and you looked at that play, Kelce got picked up by the user. You have him, you're going to chase Kelce. You cannot let him get wide open. But on the other end, you're going to have one-on-one coverage on the outside, easily exploitable by Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Chiefs looking like the Chiefs. A ton of variance. I guess variance is not really the word. They hit you with the same play over and over again. But now it is really up to Lukestep and these Jets to get it going on offense. If it becomes a shootout, this is going to be probably one of the more important aspects of the series.
Yeah, and we're watching this from Tgood's side, so we're not going to be able to see the defensive calls here, so don't worry. There's nothing wrong with what you see at home, but these first couple of plays are really going to see what the Jets' offense is going to be able to do. So, I mean, it's just going to be, I think on our side, it's going to be kind of difficult, but they do have Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so I was going to ask that question earlier if we were going to have Rodgers back here. So that makes his offense a lot different because now we're going to be running this ball with Hall, as you see. But Aaron Rodgers in the backfield makes this offense a lot more spectacular.
Yeah, this is, maybe a little bit longer of a sight than we got to see of Rodgers, unfortunately, this season. But, this is the kind of offense that you want to see. Hall, again, we'll get another rush, 2 rushes for 12 yards already. And this is another kind of offense where if you could get this running game going early, they have Hall, they got Dalvin Cook at the end of the year. Not Dalvin Cook. But, they have this rushing attack going. It gives Rodgers these options of how to hit his star receivers here.
I mean, Hall is a very good option. I think the big thing here is that you want to play a little bit of ball control. You want to make sure that you're not giving the Chiefs too much time to get this back. That's just not really where we want to be. So being able to every so often, get this run in, run some time off the clock. It's 5-minute quarters. Right now you see we're sub 2 minutes here. But as I see right now, there is no pass rush. And I mean no pass rush. So this is going to give Rodgers to Wilson a lot of time to cook today.
Absolutely. Great completion there over to the right side. Wilson for about 30 yards. And the first time out taken here by KC. Reset themselves a little bit. Motion here as we bring in the tight end. It'll be trips on the left side. We'll be going into a deep zone here, but taking those underneath routes. Hall yet again and showing some versatility not only in the run game, but on those little dink and dunk passes. They have that space. They can continue to kind of exploit those edges of the field.
Yeah, the Jets are just taking what's given to them. I mean, if you're going to leave Hall open underneath every single time in the flat, well, that's just real easy. It's kind of hard to not get that going. Right now, you see we're going to be only one man in the backfield, no extra. We are going to bring some people back to block. But again, this is just too easy. There's literally no pressure at all coming to Aaron Rodgers' face. And when we talked in the pre-show, if you're just really good on offense, it's really not going to matter a lot of times who's back there. But if you also have Aaron Rodgers and you're great on offense and they're not going to pass rush you, well, maybe this is going to be a lot closer than we thought.
Yeah, absolutely. This offense responds 6 plays for 75 yards. And, it feels like a matchup that we thought was going to be defensive oriented may actually be up to the offenses on both sides. And I don't know about you, but I am a fan of high scoring games, of high flying action. And that might be the kind of results that we are going to get here.
Well, you are the exact opposite of me, my brother, because I love seeing defense in Madden, seeing what people can come up with, because it is easy to score when people don't play defense. So I'm always interested to see what kind of things people can come up with. And again, we're playing 3-4, so they know that. And this is going to, oh my God, wow. I thought this was going to get blown up completely in the backfield. They did get a little bit, but that could have been much worse.
Yeah, Pacheco making, the most out of that situation. I mean, it was, for all intents and purposes, blown up as the defensive line did get penetration downfield. It will be Gray this time, and that seems to be the hot spot for this KC offense. They're finding that weak and they're exploiting it with multiple receivers now.
Yeah, it's just this left side go every single time, and they're just basically just waiting for the opportunity to be able to roll that one out. The Jets haven't found a way to stop that just yet. You can see they're bringing in the ends. They're trying to go directly up the middle here, but this should give you some opportunity with Kelsey. It just depends on what they're going to be doing with this linebacker here, but we're going to be end of the first quarter, 7-7. Both teams really didn't have too much, opposition going up and down the field with ease.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it feels like this could be one of those games where it could either come down to who has the ball last before time expires, or if there is one defensive play to kind of change it. Is there a forced turnover that kind of changes this game? But right now, start of the second quarter. One receiver on the right, two on the left.
Yeah, here's this seam, and we got this go, but Valdez-Scantling is going to bring that back to the middle. That's kind of weird. To be able to have two receivers, Valdez-Scantling, and have Kelsey so close. But it worked out because right at the last moment, comes to the middle of the field, gets that quick completion.
That bit of separation already in the red zone yet again. First and goal. Pacheco to the right side into a lot of traffic. Does dance around and manage to get a few yards on that one. Didn't think there was a lot of places to go, but still made it a ton of work there to get that to go.
Yeah, and this is a little bit difficult for Kansas City because they are so close and they can't run that same play because that play takes about 10-ish, yards to actually get going, and that would have put them almost out of the end zone. So they're going to come up with, got to get something going across the middle, see what you can do. So this is like a real, for a lot of Madden players, is a hard time because you're used to having to get more yards than this. And you see, he's looking over there to R1, doesn't have anybody, going to try to take this himself. Is he going to be able to get through? Oh, no. Now, this is what we talk about. Big defense from the Jets.
Yeah, and this is a choice here. Do you go for it? Do you kick? And this will be, they will go for the field goal. Doesn't look like there's going to be any shenanigans on this one. Just taking the points as it is. Kick is up, and it is good. They will take the lead, but only 3 points in an offensive battle. That might actually put them back here.
Well, it says a lot about how they feel about their defense. At that point, the play call definitely says go for it there. You should be able to get something going. And I think if it was me, maybe we just try to go for it, try to play some defense. But they said, look, we don't feel that good about our defense, even if we put them on the 5 or the 6-yard line. So now Aaron Rodgers is back at work, and we've got that trip. So you're going to have a screen pass, but no blockers there. Still does get a little bit. The blockers were, I don't know where they were looking. They weren't looking at the guy who could make the tackle.
Yeah, that's one of those where the receiver that catches it might have a word or two with his blockers. Like, this was your guy. But gets a few yards regardless. 2nd and 4 here in the second quarter. Rodgers drops back, looking to move on the right side, has options downfield. It will be the throw to Cobb and just misses it, and that could have been taken away there.
That was something else. Just didn't get that second foot down. He did have somebody open underneath, wanted to go long with it, but was a little late. So that's what Kansas City was looking for. Wasn't able to get it this time. You see Wilson going in motion. And now Rodgers has the same exact play. Was he in? Was not.
Like was. Yeah, it doesn't look like he got the foot down and maybe just a little bit late on the break. They are going to go for this one. This is pretty aggressive considering the circumstances, but they feel like they've been getting the looks. Roger dropping back, option middle of the field, and they will hold on to it. That is a first down.
That's just disrespectful. You have to remember that they're right now, maybe if they miss that play, they're going to give it right back at about like the 30-yard line to their opponents, and they just said, look, we have no respect for you. No respect on defense. And now we've got 2 minutes left. And, there was also not a lot of time on the clock. That is very, very confident offensive play calling. And, again, it just tells you what they think about this Chiefs defense.
Absolutely. And, what they think about themselves as well, the confidence to put another play, to basically chalk it up and know that they have the playbook in order to make it work. Good run here for Brees Hall,
Oh!
and they will break through. Just one person to beat. A little bit of a slowdown going to the right side. It will be just at around the 7-yard line, but a huge gain here for the Jets.
Yeah, this just tells you exactly how I don't know everything. I said, man, with less than 2 minutes, they're going to give it to Hall, and Hall immediately proves us all wrong, breaking a big run, getting to that defender, sliding right off of him, almost takes it to the house. And now they're in the same situation that the Chiefs were in, but it looks like they might have a little bit better chance here. We're now on the 2-yard line, minute 7 left. Do they have some plays in here that can complete this? Because we literally just saw the same thing from the Chiefs. They couldn't do it, but the Jets' run game looks a little bit stronger than the Chiefs today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big drive for them because we have to remember the Jets kicked off at the beginning of this half, which means they can score if they, don't leave a lot of time for Patrick Mahomes. They do have the chance to double up at the start of our second half here, but another handoff left side to Hall, and that will be good to go. Second touchdown here for the Jets.
Easy play. Hall using that speed to get to the edge. Only needed a couple of yards. It's going to be 14-10 right after this PAT. But they did leave a minute for Kansas City. So on one hand, it is a minute 4. On the other hand, the Jets would love to see if they can get a turnover, get Kansas City to do something silly, and then be able to get the ball at half.
Yeah, this feels like the kind of situation that you're on the other sideline opposite of Patrick Mahomes. You absolutely loathe. It feels like no amount of time left on the clock is too little, and got a timeout to work with as well. But I mean, they're going to be looking for points on the board. I mean, even a field goal wouldn't necessarily be anything to bat an eye on. Keeping this, within a score game here.
Yeah, and here's the pressure up the middle, right in his face. Didn't see him at all, and this is one of those mistakes we talked about. I'm sure that the Jets would have. I'm surprised they didn't take a timeout because now the Chiefs can just basically run this down, but they decided not to. Here's the blitz, and now Kelsey has found a way open and out of bounds, doubly bad, but it is still 3rd and inches.
Thought they would have actually got the first down there, but just pushed out. 33 seconds left on the clock. They still hold on to that timeout here. Kelsey in motion to the left side. Front formation now. They're looking down the field, but Mahomes doesn't like it. Change in the play here.
Well, he loves Hardman Jr. right here because this is that zone. They got it double teamed, but now we're going to see right across the middle is completed. But we've got 27 seconds left. That was their last timeout. And like you said, even a field goal is going to be something that they want to put on the board. But they have no more timeouts, so they have to be very, very careful about using the middle of the field right now.
It feels like you have to play to the sidelines here. And Jets have to know that. They also don't want to let up the big play, so they might allow those 5-yard out routes. But they're actually going to run the ball here. They don't have a way to stop the clock unless they want to. They're going to quick on it. No, they are going to spike it. That is an interesting decision there, considering time is your enemy here.
There's really no way to describe what was kind of going on there. I mean, it's possible that maybe you just wanted to get your kicker to that right hash because you felt like that's where he kicked the best. But I think overall, this is going to get there. That is a long one. Excellent to be able to get a field goal in that situation, but I would have loved to have seen the Jets take a timeout right after that sack because they had to run. They basically ran the exact same blitz, but the next time they weren't able to keep Kelsey in check, which ended up continuing in this drive, giving Kansas City 3 points, and now we're back to a 1-point game.
Yeah, well, Kansas City, it's a successful drive there, but the clock management, it makes you wonder, could they have run 1 or 2 more pass plays to the outside and get a little bit closer? They just take the points at the beginning. 10 seconds left, and just don't have a ton of time, but they do have 3 timeouts, so they might take a chance at that.
I very much doubt that this would be anything more than one play down the field. Again, they're going to be looking at it the same way. Like, do we really want to be in a situation where we can turn this over? So now they've got 5 seconds. They can throw this possibly to the end. I got to take a look at where we're at on the field. 36. No, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has got that quite as big of arm to be able to get it all the way there, but we're about to find out.
Yeah. Old man Rodgers will step back. They might want to look for one opportunity here. Has a lot of space on the right side. Do they catch the ball and get out? They just managed to do so, and I actually don't think he got out of bounds. I think they
had to use it.
Will take the timeout.
Now they're going to kick a field goal from the logo, and it's good.
What a turnaround here. I mean, and it feels like that's all because the Chiefs did not run out the clock on their side.
Yeah, look, if you give somebody the ball and there's like 10, 15 seconds on the clock, you definitely don't expect them to be able to come through and be able to get a field goal in what we just saw. They were very fortunate to be able to use that timeout to leave 1 second on the clock, but that field goal that they gave up to Kansas City didn't end up hurting them as much because they were able to go ahead and get a field goal right back. They are up 4 and getting the ball back, so now they can turn this into a 2-possession game, and we'll see what Aaron Rodgers and the Jets can do now.
Absolutely, and for the Chiefs, this is where you want your defense to make a stop here. There's been points on basically every drive. So if you're Kansas City, you're hoping that pass rush hits home, makes that quarterback move a little bit. Rodgers not moving as well as he did when he was a youngin', but still dangerous with time, with that pocket presence here. Bunch formation on the right side. A handoff, and Hall has just been the workhorse for this team. Gets a few before being taken down.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're giving him this screen look and then being able to hand it off to Hall. Now we're going back into this trips left, and you see Connor being able to try to pretend like there's going to be some pressure, but that's going to leave Wharton trying to guard Hall, and that is a matchup that they'll take all day.
Yeah, linebacker versus the running back there. You often favor that running back, especially in those quick outs. But I really, this has been a great job by Luke by taking those opportunities and taking those underneath routes when there hasn't been that home run hitter available downfield. Another one here to Conklin, just past the first down line, and we'll get a few more. Yet again, they're moving the chains here, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, great drag route, bringing it across the middle. Rodgers sees him instantly. Now we've got Conklin, spelling Hall. But these are open every single time. The defense of Kansas City has not been able to really take away these two options, one being this underneath to Hall. Now he takes it away from Tranquil, but then you've got Cobb who opens up late, and it is an easy completion for Rodgers, already up to 180 yards passing with 1 touchdown.
Absolutely. It feels like both of these offenses have really found their specific points. For the Jets, it feels like that specific corner route or fade route, if you will, to the right side. For the Chiefs, it was that seam route on the left side. They kept finding that space. They kept going to it. Feels like both of these offenses are finding what works for them. Hall trying to cut back inside, will not have any room to work here in the red zone.
And that's that same look where they can go with the screen pass to the left, or they can do the delay to Hall. And, the last couple times Hall has not been able to get that done. So you would expect eventually that they can try to confuse, see how you've got Edwards under the user control, see if they can get him in the wash like we talked about before. And that is incomplete. Looked like that could have been a fumble for a second.
Yeah, that's maybe a little bit too much running there for Rodgers. Kind of putting your quarterback in a dangerous spot. And you can see the idea there, but that kind of left your quarterback get hit pretty cleanly on that play. 3rd and goal, red zone. It's a lot of traffic to get through, but they're going to be looking for a touchdown here if possible.
Yeah, and remember last time they went with that Hall, basically it was a run. This time it's going to be a quick pass to the middle, and that is a touchdown. And you can see both of these offenses have been struggling once they get into that 5 to 6 yard line, but the Jets have been able to convert them both into touchdowns.
Yeah, and quite a brave pass there through a lot of traffic. It's just able to find the intended receiver there. This is an 11-point game, a 2-score contest currently, and quite a lot of time ticked off in this 3rd quarter. So up to KC to kind of bring this back into the fold.
Yeah, Kansas City would have loved to have been able to get that stop there. But again, you said this earlier, the Jets have scored on every single drive, even the drive when they only had about 20 seconds left. So Kansas City's got to figure out something because it is currently not working on the defensive side. So they've got to keep putting up 7, and the pressure is coming, this time over the head of Valdez-Scantling.
And another one that felt like the user kind of altered the route just at the wrong moment where it felt like it couldn't quite get the catch. It's not something they're going to think about too much. Mahomes
Yeah, but the pressure is coming. Oh, look at this hole. Oh, he slowed up a little bit, wasn't able to take advantage of it, and being able to keep Pacheco to 14 yards so far is a great success for the Jets.
Yeah, so far it felt like both teams were, attacking the run game early. They were trying to get a few yards, and KC, unfortunately, I feel like they've been put in situations where they had to kind of step away from that. That felt like an opportunity to kind of get a few yards, but that daylight closed very quickly on the other side. Now you're in 3rd and 8 downfield. No, instead Pacheco underneath, and that is going to be short, 4th and 3, but they're going to go for it.
Yeah, there's that. Earlier in the game, you saw Kansas City able to complete this little inside route to Hardman Jr. or whoever was in that slot position. That's gone away. They've only completed one pass to Kelsey so far. So they've got to find a way to get your best player in the game and have not been able to. He's going to jump in front of this one. They tried to go back to the well. Are they going to be able to catch 29? They are not. This is going to be a touchdown. Pick 6 for the Jets.
And that is the defensive play that you're looking for if you're the Jets. And again, I think you kind of hit it on the head. They're trying to maybe find that comfort spot. It was a comeback route, a hook in that seam instead of, continuing that route. But the safety read it the entire way. And now this has broken this game wide open.
And this is why you play with the Jets. You have great defense going in. With Aaron Rodgers not hurt as he is in real life, your offense actually isn't abysmal like it was with Zach Wilson. So now you're the Kansas City. You're down 18. What can you do? What do you have in the playbook now to be able to get back in this game, and you've got about 6 minutes left?
Well, you're looking for your stars and look for Rashid Rice to kind of get open here. As you call the name. Makes it work there, and you're going to look for these long throws down the field. Those posts have been available for him, but just making sure that they're picking their moments here. And they're going to try and score quick to give them as much time as possible to put as many points as possible on the board.
Yeah, the biggest problem the Chiefs have right now is going to be the clock. Because even if they score, we do have this one-on-one. Oh, my goodness! Oh, no. Oh, no.
That, man, I mean, that was it was a little bit brave to try and force that one. You can tell, they had the right idea. There was availability, but that one, you're throwing into double coverage. You're really pushing a receiver to try and make a play, and unfortunately, that doesn't work out. But now at least you have this opposition pinned here. Could maybe make a stop and give your offense another opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not even the issue right now. Now it's just the clock. Because even if you stop them, they'll punt. You're going to be losing all this time. We're going to get into the fourth quarter here in about 1 second. So now you've got 5 minutes. You need 18 points, and you somehow have to stop an offense that you have not stopped all day. So it is ice skating uphill, as we call it, for Kansas City Chiefs in Game 1 of this 3-game match between Tgood and Lukestep47.
Yeah, that third quarter, just such a momentum swing here. 14 points scored for the Jets, 0 scored for KC, not able to really keep up the scoring. And now again, what a wonderful run by Hall, and they might not have anybody to stop them here through the middle, all the way to the side, and they're not even going to worry about the touchdown. They're going to worry about the clock, and they'll end that run prematurely.
Yeah, and if you're Kansas City, you're just like, okay, you got it. You didn't go out of bounds. You didn't stop the clock. So perfect. if it doesn't score points and it runs the clock, we're all about that life. And right now, they're going to be able to get another stop on the run. I think at this point, if you are Kansas City, you're just trying to figure out some things that you can do on offense for the next game. This game, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to come back with 4 minutes on 18 points, with an 18-point deficit. But you can maybe find a couple little holes and see what you can do. And as you see, Hall, they're realizing that maybe they just keep Hall involved. Be able to make sure that, look, if we keep this man involved, we can do some more damage in the next couple of games. We don't have to show Kansas City any more of our offensive plays. It is, Kansas City's worst nightmare to be able to, basically put them on the one, and then they just keep going. Like, they don't care. Yeah, bring it back in. Exact. See, smart play. Do not go out of bounds. Kansas City is in big trouble. He would like to leave the match, no?
Yeah, we have had forfeits on the stream before, as players just kind of mentally getting ready for the next game, not really needing anything to show. But this is a game controlled right now by the Jets, and Hall had an open lane of grass and seemed like they didn't want to take it, which is fair. It does look like we are going to get the end of this game number 1. And so that one, ended. We kind of knew exactly where it was going. They're ready for game number 2 now. And what a second half from the Jets there to really lengthen that lead and really take over.
You have to really tip your hat to the Jets because they were getting torched early by the Chiefs with the same play, long pass plays. The run game for Kansas City really wasn't there. But once they were able to take that money play away from Kansas City, there wasn't like another play they could go to. There wasn't another underneath. There wasn't a run game, so to speak. And then when they kind of got their backs up against the wall, they tried to go back to that money play, but the Jets were ready, turned it into a pick six. And here we are, 31-13 win for Lukestep47.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a kind of going off what you said, Casey didn't necessarily have that backup plan, and for the Jets, they were able to have a lot of success on the ground. We saw Hall, who had an absolute game on the ground, had a touchdown as well. Probably had 2 more touchdowns that they kind of let up on, and could, just out of gamesmanship more than anything. But truly had an incredible game, as well as those shots down the field to that right corner area of that defensive side. So they had multiple things, and I feel like they still have more plans in the playbook. It felt like they didn't want to show anything else, like you said. It feels like they still have quite a bit to work with here.
Yeah, if you're Kansas City, you're definitely worried because when the running game is working really well in Madden, man, it is just backbreaking. You're talking about 5-minute quarters, and if you can just continually run the ball, you essentially just deny, opportunities for the other offense to be able to be on the field. And it's hard to get turnovers when you're running. There's a lot of positive things for the Jets on offense if they can continue giving Hall the ball when you have Aaron Rodgers behind there, because now they're going to have to put more men in the box. They're going to have to do some more. And I doubt that they want to get out of this 3-4. The Jets are running a 3-4. For Kansas City, they have to decide what they want to do. Do they want to try to pressure Rodgers? Do they want to try to stop the run? Because both of those were not working. Because every single drive that the Jets have resulted in points, even when it was, like I said, 20 seconds on the clock, and I'm thinking, man, like, they're just going to run this clock out. It's no big deal. Nope, they go down and get a field goal. So for Kansas City, are you going to continue to play zone? Do you want to play man? And I think also on offense for Kansas City, you've got to get Travis Kelce involved somehow. You have your second best player on the team has 1 catch the entire game. That is not going to equal dubs in the long run, and now you've got your back against the wall. You have to win game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And, game 2, so important. Again, best of 3 series. So you win here if you are the Jets and Lukestep, and you move on. You lose here, you're done for today, but there are still opportunities here in the future, but all we are worried about is today. Let's head on to this game number 2, where it looks like we are in the Chiefs Stadium. Again, the Jets will be kicking off, so similar game plan from them where they're going to rely on their defense to at least, kind of slow down the beginnings of this KC offense.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we're going to go back to the same offense that they had previously, or if they have some sort of zone breaker that they run that they've got in their playbook. We want to get this run game somewhat put together for Pacheco, because again, you see 5 guys in the box. If you see on the other side, you've got 6 offensive linemen. So it's like we use Kelsey as a blocker as they did, and now, if you can get past that, I like where they're going. 6 men on 5, that's fine. We could take this all day. We motion Kelsey over, ends up putting him in the wash, letting him pick up one of these linebackers and opening it up for Pacheco. So we'll see if they continue with that.
It feels like the daylight is there, the blocking holds, but they have to really hit the hole hard in order to gain those yards. But 2nd and 7, Mahomes back, checks down to Rice. He'll get the first down and makes a move to get a little bit more, and that'll move the chains.
We did not see that play last game, and he saw the blitz coming off the end. That was going to be coming from the defensive back. Saw that blitz, let him get in a little bit, was able to go ahead and get that completion right away. These are fine. All of these plays are great. We don't have to score quickly. As long as we are positively moving this ball up, we'll take it all day. This time there was no blocks. Travis Kelce, my boy, you need to come back. I don't need you blocking 10 yards down the field. I need you to get these guys up front.
So far, the running game has not been as successful as they would have liked, but just got to continue to commit to it. You can't necessarily give it up, especially in an early of a game as this. Quick throw to Kelsey, who will get a few yards there, the first down and a little bit more. And right now, this KC offense, they are not huddling. It is continuing to play, and they really want to tire out this defense.
Well, we love seeing Travis Kelce get involved. I mean, if you're going to give him a one-on-one, there's the block. All of the daylight in the world.
And McKinnon down to about the 6-yard line, and that's exactly the kind of stuff that we wanted to see. The holes have been there. It's just finally an opportunity taken there for KC.
And this is a different offensive game plan than we saw last time. We've seen Travis Kelce being the focal point of this offense, and what I say is that you're seeing him get out there and block. You're seeing out there getting in catch. And now you've got a touchdown. And Kansas City had a terrible time scoring from this close in the previous game. Easy peasy this time around. But again, they're getting Kelsey involved, if that's just throwing him passes or he's lead blocking. This is what you want to see from the Kansas City offense.
Now to the kickoff. And reminder, we did see a very similar start to this game as we saw in game number 1. KC came out, they scored early, and the Jets scored right back. See if this will kind of follow that same trend, or we could see a little bit more defense from this Kansas City side.
Yeah, I am definitely interested to know what Kansas City has in their back pocket now. They've already essentially said that they don't really know how to rush Aaron Rodgers, if that's going to be just a normal. They can't do it with just the down lineman. Weren't able to do that last game. So now it's a matter of, do we want to try to blitz going up the middle? Right now there's no tight end in the offense, so now you've got 2 men on both sides, and they're going to go right back to Breece Hall, but this time they are able to stop it.
Yeah, and if you're a KC, you will take that, just trying to limit the effectiveness of Hall. Not only in these zone reads, but coming out of the backfield in those routes or that final check down. You don't want any of those opportunities, and that one is going to be picked off. It is going to be McDuffie. Not going to get anywhere from it, but a huge turnover here, and KC will take over.
That is excellent defense this time, and this was something I definitely, we're playing zone still, but I was concerned because the initial look was that Hall being moved out there was going to be open, was a little bit late with it, gets the interception, and now Kansas City with their first stop. They had no stops in the first game. Now they have an interception, looking to go up 2 scores.
Awesome middle, Rice having a lot of the workload here early for KC. We'll get another first down, 4 receptions already on the day, as well as a touchdown here for Rashid Rice.
I am very impressed with what Kansas City has done. They've come out with a completely different offense. Tried to go back to the one that they had before as soon as I say that. But I like the drags. I like being able to keep Travis Kelce involved, and I think let's keep with that. Let's get number 87 some looks. Let's have some motion on him. Let's make him the focal point of this thing and see what we can do from there. And they're going to bring that in. You see Kelce with the block, but not too much going on there. We are in the 19-yard line, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, caught up in the crowd a little bit, so not really able to turn on the Jets and break free. 3rd and 5. Good positioning here, but we'll see if Mahomes will be able to continue this drive any further. Rice right
there is
now,
literal no one on Rice right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, Rice doesn't have anyone. I mean, this is a quick 5 yards, and you could get this this first down. Let's see if they go to it. No, they go to the run instead. It will be enough. McKinnon breaks a tackle, still up, but will eventually be taken down, and whatever works here. First down for Kansas City.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were both saying, oh, look, there's nobody on Rice. But what they were thinking is, wow, that means Rice just gets to block the first person that he sees, and that should open it up. And Kansas City has essentially had the ball this entire quarter. Going to be looking to run this out some more. And there is a flag for delay of game. Well, so I think you might decide not to take this. And here's why. They take the delay of game so they can have more space to run their plays. So you just don't take it. You make them operate from the 10. So by taking it, now you open it up more for them, and they can do a little bit more. And McKinnon going to immediately punish this man.
Oh. Well, now it is 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. And Kansas City, I mean, they're operating at a high level right now. Kelce in motion. They're going to run the ball, but that one's going to be blown up by the Jets defense there.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no world where I'm actually hiking this ball before the half or before the first quarter's over. But Kansas City has different ideas, and this is going to be a touchdown to McKinnon right up the middle. Nobody touches him. Jersey is mighty clean on the way for that touchdown.
Yeah, and this is a dream start if you are the Chiefs here, up by now 14 as that BAT will go in. And the Jets now getting back on to the field after this kickoff, and it really was one costly interception, points immediately taken off of that turnover, and now they got a mountain to climb here.
Yeah, the Jets really haven't been able to do much just because they haven't had the ball. I mean, they've had the ball once. So they're still not out of this. They can score, and we've seen them score a lot, and they are getting the ball at halftime. So they've just got to figure it out, just not make another mistake. They're right back into the same offense, and Hall is going to be a big part of that. And Hall's got a big hole, is going to make one cut. Oh, my goodness. Kansas City user problems.
Did Steve just trip?
I think the man had a stroke. The man just had a stroke.
Touchdown for Hall there. The Jets will make good on that one early. And I thought there was at least going to be one more defender chasing Hall down, but not to be. Hall has been an absolute monster here in this series. And that'll get the Jets hopefully right back on track here.
Yeah, 76-yard touchdown, I think. That is a long one. For Kansas City, obviously you saw there, they just didn't tackle. So I'm not sure what happened there. That is something that can be easily fixed. We would just hope the next time that and they've seen that play before. I mean, that is literally the exact same play that they ran on the first drive when they got the ball previously. But for Kansas City, this is why I was saying, like, if the Jets are going to play this run game offense, let's just hold the ball. Let's just take the whole, every time we get it, let's just run this bad boy all the way to the end, and then we'll see what they can do from there. Because right now, they haven't shown me this game that they can pass the ball. So here we go. If it's me, I'm just running this down until the quarter ends. But maybe they're just feeling like they want to have as much time as possible. But no, they do go ahead and get into the second quarter, and the score is a lot closer than the game really is. It is definitely been all Kansas City this game, but the Jets right at the last moment, huge play to get a touchdown.
Yeah, the Jets did not hold on to the ball very long. I mean, the early interception in their first drive and then the early touchdown in the second drive. So their offense has barely been on the field, but I mean, fairly efficient work from them to stay in this contest
Oh,
regardless. Mahomes, oh, good route there by Hardman Jr. We'll get a little bit of room to go, but that nice little stutter step, faking that route to the inside, going outside, such a successful route in Madden.
and for the first time, that go route for Kelsey was actually wide open. That has not been open at all. So keep an eye on that play. But this time now we got Pacheco. And again, it's funny. Every time you see Kelsey trying to go for some of these blocks when it's a run up the middle, he ends up blocking the safety as opposed to one of the linebackers. So he basically just takes himself out of the play. But that is going to be 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2 now for Kansas City.
Be a play for Rice, and that time that will be disrupted early there. That's a great read by the defense, not allowing that sweep to generate any speed to the outside.
Yeah, they did run that before to some success, but that's definitely something that you want to give the defense a different look, maybe run it the other way, because they were able to sniff that one out early, and now you see Kelsey going in motion.
Oh,
No! Davis just has to beat Mahomes and beats him like a drum.
oh my goodness. It is another interception. This time it will be the Jets. And that one felt like the defense was waiting for that exact throw. They're in the right place at the right time. They take it all the way. It is 1st and goal, and the Jets could tie this up in a hurry.
Yeah, and you see that if that ball's thrown to Kelsey, it's okay. It was the problem is that it was not. And now you've got Aaron Rodgers trying to tie this game up, and this was a 14-0 lead for Kansas City, and the defense, oh my Lord.
No.
Hall
to the outside, another touchdown. And right now, I mean, what a swing here. The Jets defense immediately leading into offenses, and we are all tied up. 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
I would love to see the time of possession for the Jets right now. It's like a minute 20. It's like they like haven't had the ball. They turned it over, then they just got the long touchdown, and then they got an interception, and then just scored a touchdown. It's like they've had the ball like sub 2 minutes, and it's
been a very easy day for them.
Yeah, the offense is real clean. Jerseys are not dirty at all. No sweat's been broken. Kansas City's got to fix it. This is something where they were up 14-0, all the momentum in the world, and got a little sloppy there. Let's get back to that run game. Get back to keeping Kelsey involved like you were before. There's that Kelsey drag again. But it's got to go to Kelsey. Like, let him develop.
Oh, no. That's another one.
The offense just falling apart for Kansas City now. They got to go back and take what's given to them. And they are just making some big mistakes on offense and just giving another chance for Aaron Rodgers to get back on the field and have a short field, be able to get to work, and possibly take the lead in this game after being down 14-0.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of that patience. Screen to the left, one to beat, now a little bit of room to run. Will get into the red zone here as Aaron Rodgers and the Jets starting to look good. And again, they're making all of this work so quickly here. They are on, what is that, about the 13, 14-yard line. Hall looking to get the first down and more, and will be dragged in. It'll be a touchdown, his second touchdown of the game. It'll be 20-14 as soon as they put the PAT in. 21 if it goes in, and it will.
I'm pretty sure that's his third touchdown, right? He had the long one, then he had the one to the right, and this
you're
one
right.
up the middle. 3 touchdowns for Hall. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have to do the work today. It's just give it to my man in the backfield. Let him go to work. And now a lead that was 14-0 has disintegrated and is now a 7-point deficit for Kansas City. and they're going to take this one out, and that is, let's see, hit sticks in there. Nope, they're going to go ahead and get this on the 14, so definitely not a great decision to take that out.
Well, I'm wondering, how the temperament and the patience is here for Tgood, because you kind of tell when they're in the lead, the style of play and what the decisions they were making, they were taking what was available, and as soon as a little bit of pressure here from the Jets came, they were starting to score and getting a little bit closer, started to make these decisions of going for these home run balls, and we just have seen. Great pass there to Rashid Rice, but we just have seen a little bit more tact, a little bit more patience in the play. And that's when the Kansas City offense is doing so well. They have to resist the urge to try and go for a home run every single play. They cannot turn the ball over as we get into the 2-minute warning here at the end of this first half.
Yeah, and you have to remember that, granted, yes, they were up 14-0. Now they're down 7. The game isn't over by any means. They are still in this game, but they definitely need to score right now. You don't want to go ahead and give it back to the Jets and then be in the same situation you were last time where you're going to be down 2 possessions. But, you're down 7. You have the ball. Just get back to what you were doing that was working, and which was, again, keeping Kelsey involved. You don't have to do a lot of crazy stuff. Let's get it to Pacheco. You've got 1:55. You still have 3 timeouts. Just take what the defense gives you, get back into this game, because this is not a game you could lose, right? The Jets, this is a game in hand. So they're willing to maybe take a little bit more risk, do some stuff like that. Pacheco, huge hole. Oh, gets a great block.
And he's going to get all the way.
Easy.
That is a huge run. And again, massive blocks from the O-line there on the user as well. So not able to switch in time to really affect the play. Tie game here for KC. That'll leave 1:33 on the clock. And very similarly to game number 1, the Jets have an opportunity to double dip here if they get some exciting offense towards the end of this half.
Yeah, plenty of time for the Jets. Obviously, they have not had the ball a lot today, but they have done the most with it when they had it. But this so far has been a running team. This is a team that has been saying, give it to Hall, let him do what he does, and if we need to get Aaron Rodgers involved, we will. 1:33, still plenty of time with 2 timeouts to be able to. The entire playbook is open. You bring in Edwards down, and Hall is kind of stopped. All right, still got 4 yards, but that's okay when there's 1:20 something left.
2 timeouts here for the Jets, 3 for Kansas City if they want to slow down and maybe take a look. But Rodgers is going to hold on to that ball just a little bit too long. Will eventually be eaten up by the defensive line. 3rd and 9 here.
That's the best pass rush they've had in a game and a half. If they can continue to do that, that's a coverage sack. There really just wasn't many places for Rodgers to go with the ball. They're going to bring this blitz. And normally you don't want to pass across your body, but getting it to Cobb worked out just fine that time.
Yeah, that is the exact kind of throw that you'd see both of these quarterbacks make routinely, it feels like. You don't necessarily want to show it on film because that's not exactly something that you want to teach younger quarterbacks, but they make it look so easy.
Well, what's even funny about that is Aaron Rodgers, I think, only has passed the ball 4 times.
So yeah, he's 3 for 4, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that if somebody has said this before, hey, what would the score be if Rodgers has passed the ball 5 times? I would tell you that they're probably in a bad spot. But, in fact, they aren't. It is 3rd and 8, 21-21, 17 seconds on the clock. And if they can get into field goal range, they could. Now, they did let some things happen with Kansas City and last time with a little bit on the clock. Oh, but there's finally some pressure in Aaron Rodgers' face. And now, 4th and 8 on the 48 going the other way. This is not a field goal situation.
No, it's not a field goal situation. They don't have any timeouts. They used their 2 timeouts. They weren't able to get to the sideline, so they have to rely on those out routes in order to continue this drive and get points out from it. Rodgers, 3 receivers on the left. Will go down the middle, and that one could be dangerous. Can they get back to the line in order to spike this? No, they will run out of time. This half will end 21-21, and it is all even going into the second half.
The Jets were facing sure disaster, being down 14-0 quickly, fought back, got 2 interceptions. It is now 21-21, and they're getting the ball back. But this game is a lot closer than it appeared to be after the first about 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, and that is a huge stop for KC. They're not allowing any points there. You're stopping this from possibly getting into a 2-possession game. So now you go into this half knowing that you're absolutely even, relying on your defense. That now we're starting to see that defensive line break through, start to rattle Rodgers a little bit. We'll see if that has any continuation here in this third quarter.
All right, here we go. Hall starting it off right. Hall has 99 yards rushing already.
Pretty good fantasy performance, I think.
Yeah, I'll take that. 3 touchdowns, 99 yards in the first half. Basically, we're doing okay. But we have started. Aaron Rodgers is now 6 for 8, 75 yards. Does have an interception, but they are on the move. 1st and 10. And they have really kind of, I don't want to say that they've reinvented their playbook, but I'm not seeing a lot of the same plays we saw from the first game, but we are seeing a lot of Hall. And that's great. They're able to keep him involved, but not show them the same looks, make Kansas City do some things that they don't necessarily want to do, but that is a big tackle because Hall, again, has been burning them constantly. So to be able to get this to 3rd and 3, put some pressure on them to do something with this ball and maybe put it in the air, maybe get a mistake and get this ball back.
2-by-2, that stacked looking formation that we've seen so often, but they are going to go, and it will be Rodgers keeping it. No, instead it's going to be the screen to the right side. And it's going to be Wilson who will be in a race all the way to the right side. It will go in, and the touchdown. You thought it was going to be Rodgers, but instead he gets it to a skill guy, and they take it for 6.
That is one of the craziest plays I think I have ever seen. That looked like some flag football play where you lateral it backwards. Because if we went to a replay of that, both of those, there was 2 wide receivers to the right side. There was nobody over there, at all. He could have just thrown it over there, but we were all so enamored when he just brought it around and was by himself. But instead, it is still a touchdown. Jets up 7. The Chiefs little embarrassed there at the defensive play call.
Listen, I was so focused on Rodgers potentially scrambling there for that first down, and it pulled those defenders as well. All of the focus went to try to stop Rodgers, and to me, that might have been a little bit close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
No challenges there in backyard football. That would have absolutely been an argument for the decades, but 28-21, Mahomes will take over and look for something across the middle. Valdez-Scantling will get a little bit of room, and when KC have been accurate across the middle of the field, they have been able to move, but they just have to temper their expectation of when they're crossing and when they're going after those 2 safeties at the top.
Yeah, we've just been seeing the run game be so important for both of these teams. Pacheco, 70 yards rushing with a touchdown. Keep these guys involved. I'm looking, every time I'm looking at these defenses, I'm seeing 5 guys in the middle, but I'm seeing, right now, I've got 5 offensive linemen. I still have Kelsey, plus my running back. There's plenty of opportunity if you can do it, but this is another weird play, too. They did this in the first half where there's 2 guys on top of each other by themselves off to the left. So I'm not sure how that play develops to get into that, but so far it's worked out just fine.
Yeah, they've had success basically, again, that stack. They're both basically running the same route, shadowing each other. It still works out. Kelsey gets a little bit of work there and heads off to the sideline. 2nd and 7. We've got plenty of time left in the third quarter as well. Holmes in the shotgun. Kelsey goes to the right side. Rashid Rice, again, not covered immediately. Could mean a run here for Rashid Rice, but it is going to be
do you see the audible for Rice?
Yeah, it looks like Rice, if they could get it to him, but they aren't going to wait on it in the coverage. Fairly good there on Hardman Jr., but again, wonderful recognition. That safety did come over the top. That could have been dangerous, but took what was available, and now it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and I like that he didn't force that to Rice. I mean, it's definitely possible that there's a situation where you can do something like that, where you just get Rice just blocking him down, and he saw that immediately again. So you see Kansas City learning from some of these looks that they're getting on defense, not rushing it, and like you said, taking what they give you, and it's fine. I mean, this is still a one-possession game. You got a minute left in the third quarter. Just do your thing. Try to get lucky when you're playing defense. These plays are also a little sus because obviously if that is intercepted, that's 7 the other way.
Yeah, these routes, I mean, you're looking for a little bit of that, taking a defender with you and opening up a little bit of space. I mean, these rub route concepts that Kansas City is known so well for, they're trying to get a little bit of that, but not quite successful. I mean, these Jets defenders are sticking onto these receivers quite close here, and another opportunity to that right side, but quickly dealt with. 3rd and goal here.
Yeah, we see Kansas City having still a little bit of trouble once they're inside the 5. Right now they're on like 2.5. Can they convert? And again, I see Valdez Scantling with really a lot of space here, and 2 men over there again hanging out. There's the touchdown, though. They only needed a couple yards. We're able to get that, and they are on the board, hopefully able to make this 28-28.
Yeah, those receivers, I mean, so often they kind of get assigned those routes where they're kind of running, again, shadowing each other, and they just manage to find a little bit of space there. It works perfectly, and now all tied up, about to get to the end of the third quarter, and, you know, we might only see a few more possessions for these teams. It could go down to the wire here.
Yeah, I think just talking about that same play where the 2 wide receivers are in the same area, the big worry is that they will both be able to be guarded by one guy eventually, that they can't just kind of like box out the one defender. And if the defender ends up on the interior on that play, that's going to be an interception for a touchdown every time. So I don't imagine they're going to go to that well a lot, but they're going to go to this well all day. Hall, he's going to slow this one up. Slow this up for 17 to give him the block? Nope. He's just going to play with him.
What a rush there for Hall, and we've been calling the name all day long, and you know, unfortunately Wilson was not able to get in front of that to actually block the last defender, but the end of the third quarter is here. We are on to the 4th, and the Jets already threatening to score. They got about to the 15-yard line, it looks like, and again, they have been so efficient every time they're on the ball.
This is crazy. Hall has like 163 yards rushing.
Yeah,
this is still Madden. Okay, this is still just a guy running the football. I mean, you got to stop them. You got to make them do something else besides just handing it off to Hall and just punishing you. And Wilson, there we go. Make them do something different. Make them take a chance and put that ball in the air. And I hate to say, like, man, I want to make sure Aaron Rodgers beats me, but at this point, Bryce Hall is spanking you, my brother.
Open to the right. Ruckert will stay in bounds. I believe they do get the first down, and it will now be 1st and goal from right inside, I believe, the 5-yard line. Excuse me, 3.5, we'll say.
Yep, and we are now in the 4th quarter.
Kansas City wanting to save as much time as possible. They will use that timeout early here. And, you know, they just want to give themselves, I'm sure they want to be the last team to hold on to the ball. But see if they could get a stop here. I mean, limiting them down to 3 points would be huge, but user linebacker tried to disrupt the play. Will at least slow it down, but you know, maybe a gain of 1. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and this is hurtful for the Jets because they are a running team. They want to score quickly. They want to have more time on the clock to get that last drive in. Hall's going to walk this one in, and now Kansas City, it is put up or shut up time. After you were up 14-0, you're now going to be down 7. You have 4 minutes and 19 seconds, so you've got 2 problems. 1, you still have to score, and 2, you have to make sure you don't leave too much time on the clock so that the Jets offense can just continue to run it down your throat. So we are about to see, will Kansas City be able to finish the story here, get this touchdown, maybe go for 2. Everything is still on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting because, I mean, there's still plenty of time on the clock, right? So you don't necessarily want to make any mistakes. You do have to score. Getting the touchdown is the first and foremost most important thing. But do you leave the Jets offense the final opportunity to decide how this game goes? Do you try and, really just march down the field and take as much time as possible so you're the last one? Very interesting here, but right now, first play doesn't really go anywhere with Pacheco. 2nd and 10. Kelsey on the move to the left side. Mahomes changing the play. Still not satisfied with where they are right now. Drops back. Short pass, but it will be read. Good tackle there, and it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you definitely want to have back because at the very best, that play is still a contested catch at the line of scrimmage, essentially. So now you're 3rd and 8. You're looking at this defense. You see, there's no safeties back there, so you're going to have a little bit of a head start. But Mahomes, man in his face. And we talked about those Mahomes rules. Put some pressure on him and see what happens. But now it's the 4th quarter, 4th and 19. With their game on the line, they need the conversion. They're on the 16-yard line. So if they don't convert here, they'd be giving the ball back to Hall and the Jets. Short field where they're able to just run, and they don't even care if they score. They just want to make sure they can get this 3 minutes and 14 seconds down to 0-0s.
Yeah, that sack is so huge. We haven't seen many sacks, but I feel like they've always come at these high-octane moments. 4th and 19. A ton of yardage to make up here. Mahomes back across the field, now rolling out to the right.
Oh, he's got somebody wide open.
They're going to throw it to Valdez-Scantling, who will have a little bit of room to make it work. What a throw, what a catch, and what a play design here for the Chiefs.
Excellent, excellent read from Mahomes, being able to use his feet, be able to get outside and complete that pass. It was unreal that he was that wide open, but sometimes when a player is that wide open, you can just overthink yourself and throw it the wrong way, overthrow it. Yeah. But that pass was right on the money.
2nd and 2 now here, just outside, probably about the 31-yard line here. They are going to take their time. I wouldn't really expect them to hike it before that 2-minute warning, as it does go off here. And now if you're KC, I mean, you're getting yourself into a better position, but how much, Rob, are we thinking that this team is going to consider wasting as much time so the Jets don't have a lot of time to, really get a possession off?
No, I mean, I think if you're the Chiefs, obviously you're thinking touchdown, but you want to score with like 4 seconds left. And then I think at this point, you just go for 2. You've shown that you really haven't been able to play defense to stop them. So you don't want this to go to overtime necessarily. I think you just want to, let's get this clock running. Let's score with the least amount of time we can. Let's go for 2 and force game 3. And speaking of game 3, we didn't have any of those in the other bracket. We did have Jordu moving. Oh, no!
Oh,
he is able to get through it. Touchdown, Kansas City Chiefs. But we talked about it. This is a lot of time for the Jets still.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, in the previous game, right before the half, I believe it was about 33 seconds, maybe a little bit less, that the Jets were able to get the ball back and score a field goal. That would be all they need in order to take this victory. They will get the ball, and it will be up to Aaron Rodgers and specifically Hall. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Hall. They have all of their timeouts, so they can run the ball as much as they'd like here in the final moments of this game.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I was saying that when we talk about trying to force a game 3, the other bracket, we do have Jordu 2 times playing the Bills, beating, this looks like Side FX playing the Eagles. They move on. Noah up next with the Chiefs, beating King Lon 23. And then looks like Gabagol 94 beating Away 28, also playing with the Chiefs. So lots of Chiefs in the next round. So can the Jets at least get one of these Chiefs out of the tournament?
Movement there, only gets 3 yards here, but time will be ticking.
Bryce Hall with a casual 12 carries, about 170 yards, 4 touchdowns, no big deal. Just another day at the office.
Yeah. Very, very easy work here. Light work for Mr. Hall. 2nd and 7. Rodgers will adjust the formation, bringing in the tight ends. And the receivers bunch right. And a little bit of movement. Just really trying to throw off this KC defense. We'll step back, throw to the right side. Hall is there. Gets a few air yards as well. 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised at that. I mean, a couple of surprises here. I'm actually really surprised that Kansas City didn't go for 2 to be able to try to win this game, and knowing that the running game is really what the Jets are doing. Because now with 32 seconds left, it is 3rd and 3. But there is a flag. Looks like that's going to be illegal contact. First down for the Jets. First penalty over 2 games. That was, not something that they actually wanted to have. But man, that's super bad.
What a killer penalty. Right side, it will be Cobb, and gets that one to go. A huge chunk of chain there on that throw, and then we'll see the first Jets timeout. 23 seconds left, and they're slowly getting closer to that field goal range.
Man, somebody check on Tgood's controller, because he is definitely upset about that illegal contact play. Because now on the 24-yard line, 1 timeout left, 18 seconds, just need the field goal. And there's still 1 timeout for Kansas City. So if you're the Jets, you want to run here, put the ball wherever you want to be able to kick it, which is fine, right on that right hash. We saw that before. And we're just going to let this tick down to 3 seconds.
Tick down, take the timeout, and then potentially put the game away here. And this has been masterfully handled here by the Jets. Again, started this game down 14-0, and they worked their way back again so quickly on their offensive drives, and now just 1 kick away from moving on in this tournament.
I love that Kansas City tried to ice the kicker. That's pretty funny. At least let them walk out. But whatever. Here we go. 3 seconds. We're going to get the Madden vision on the kick. There have been no missed kicks in either game. This one is up. And it is good for the Jets, who come back from a 14-point deficit to close out the series 2-0 and move on to be able to play Jordu 2 times in the next bracket.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And this is the kind of game that we're expecting here. I mean, that after the first game, I was worried that, we would see a quarter that would absolutely switch the momentum. But there we saw, I guess the first quarter was Kansas City was dominating, but the Jets did not give up. They continued to kind of break through, and the defense turned into offense. And that was as close of a game as you can get here, but it will be Lukestep with the Jets. Moving on, Jets, Jets.
Yeah, that is a real hard loss for Tgood to take, because he made a lot of great modifications in his offense for that game 2. Really showed it off in that first quarter. And then there was this play that they called where they had Travis Kelce doing a drag, going to the right, and instead of throwing it to Kelce, I believe it was going to Valdez-Scantling instead, or it was Pacheco, one of those guys. And had it gone to Kelce, it probably just falls down for an incompletion. But because it was going to the other receiver, the Jets were able to take that, and that really changed the momentum of this whole game. And it was just an unreal. It's just an unreal set of plays because the Chiefs were just so far ahead. And then even at the end, the illegal contact when we had that is just so brutal, because it was 3rd and 3, hopefully being able to maybe make a stop there, but instead end up losing to the last second field goal.
Yeah, it is a sad tale, but if there's any way to lose, I know it's a little bit more painful in the moment to lose a close game like that, but looking back, it is, what it was, a very close game, something that you could hang your head high, and it's not the end. There are more things to come through, but uh, excited to see what this hopeful Jets team will do in the future as well. Because right now, there's a lot of Chiefs, there's a lot of red going on. So maybe a little bit of the Jets kind of running through the Chiefs over and over and over again could make for quite the story.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bracket. It looks like it's going to possibly be the Bills. Bills, another team with a strong defense, but it could be an AFC matchup where we have, or AFC East matchup where we have the Jets and Bills. We'll have Aaron Rodgers, we'll have Jared Allen, and in the other side of the bracket, it looks like it's Chiefs on Chiefs. I'm very, I mean, I don't want to say excited because that's kind of like an overused word when we watch Madden, but I'm definitely intrigued to see if the Jets' game plan, which in game one looked really strong, they definitely had a lot of pressure, forced interceptions, which is exactly what you want in Madden. The offense ran a little bit more through Aaron Rodgers in game one, but what he saw is towards the end of that game that Hall was just decimating their defense. And when they went into the next game, literally it was just give Hall the ball and see what he can do. 4 touchdowns, I think almost 170, 180 yards on the ground, just a lot of missed tackles. And so that's going to be the game plan, I think, moving forward, because even when we look at the Bills aren't going to exactly be the run-stopping powerhouse, out there either. So it's very possible we can go with that. But I want to say keeping Aaron Rodgers to about, I think it was like 90 yards passing in game two, that also says a lot, because I think Aaron Rodgers is, in my opinion, is a better quarterback than Jared Allen. And we're going to see what that's going on.
All right. Well, that is not the only amount of action that we have. We have plenty of action yet to come. We still have a few best of 3 series, but right now we're going to go to a quick break, but do not go anywhere. The Rally Cry Collegiate series is not done yet. We have more action for you, so do not go anywhere.